Hi, my name is Brenda Wright, the resource teacher for the 21st Century Grant Program. Today, we are going to explore ways to help children build positive relationships through this family activity. Through relationships, children learn about themselves and how to understand others. Relationship building, beginning from birth, is the process of establishing emotional connections with others and is based on trust and intimacy. When children experience people who help, understand, and enjoy them, they begin to approach the world with openness and enthusiasm, which contributes to them growing into responsive and caring adults. Positive relationships don't just happen by accident. They are purposeful and take practice. Children need practice in order to learn to share, take turns, resolve conflict, and feel the joy of friendships. In this activity, we will provide strategies to help children cultivate this important skill to gain lifelong benefits. Here are some simple ways to help children cultivate this important skill and gain a lifetime of benefits. First, define and model respect. Respect is different from the various other virtues we teach our children. It must be modeled. It's not something we can tell our children how to do. The only way to teach this virtue is to show. When we parent respectfully, our children will grow with a solid foundation of knowing what respect looks like, how important it is, and subsequently how to respect others, including us, according to Nicole Dent, a parenting writer. Define respect by asking children, what do you think respect means? Mention the ways to show them respect, such as listening to them, showing that you care about their feelings, and remaining calm when you're upset. Discuss that healthy relationships include trust, honesty, respect, communication, and understanding. Other ideas might include, together create a chart of respectful behaviors and kind words, compliments, honesty, being polite, etc., and then display it. Discuss what respectful relationships look, feel, and sound like. Next, define what an unhealthy or disrespectful relationship look like, such as an imbalance of power, unkind words, excluding others, physical aggression, and so on. Also, show respect for community and environment by picking up trash, planting a garden, or supporting a cause you care about. Number 2, practice mindful speech. There is value in pausing before we speak. When we choose words that help rather than harm, positive relationships can grow and take root. Mindfulness makes it possible to recognize that we are about to say before we say it, and thus offers us the freedom to choose when to speak, what to say, and how to say it, according to therapist Beth Roth. Practice mindful speech. 3 gates technique is a helpful way to master mindful communication. Before speaking, we should filter our words through these 3 filters. Is it true? Is it helpful? Is it kind? Truthfulness. Truthfulness means abstaining from saying what isn't true. It includes outright lies and exaggerating the truth or intentionally leaving out details. Occasionally, we lie to keep from getting in trouble, or we exaggerate to make ourselves look good. We have a tendency to think that little white lies are harmless, but telling them creates or reinforces a habit of not telling the truth. Modeling telling the truth also reinforces the practice for children. Is it helpful? Gossip seems to be habit forming. Oftentimes, our conversations turn to it. Gossip only seems to divide and is one-sided. Sometimes talking about one who is not present out of concern for their welfare is appropriate. Encourage children to try not to talk negatively about anyone who isn't present. Encourage older children to try it. Later ask if they found it challenging. How did it change their conversations? Is it kind? The old adage, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never break me, is simply not true. Words do have potential to harm our children and others. The effect of someone's harmful words can last for years. Not only is it important that we not inflict pain on our children with harsh, unkind words, it's also important for them not to do the same to others. During times of upset, it is important to take a deep breath, to self-regulate, or ask to continue the conversation later rather than respond harshly. This allows one a chance to calm down and continue the conversation when we can speak with more clarity and respect. When coaching our children, we might say, when we speak, we get to choose what to say. If we stop for a moment, we can be sure to choose words more carefully. We already know that it is important to tell the truth, but that's not the only important thing. Before we speak, we should ask ourselves if our words are going to be helpful and kind to the other person. Something else to consider. Asking, can you think of something you've said that seemed true, but that felt kind of mean or bad to say? Asking, can you imagine how your behavior might affect others? Using the 3 gates questions to examine past scenarios and how the outcome might have changed using all 3 questions. Brainstorm some ways in which the 3 gates may also help build strong relationships. As parents, we can practice mindful speech by modeling it. Choosing our words carefully can make a difference in our relationship with our children and their relationship with others. Number 3, disagree respectfully. Everyone does have a right to an opinion. Teaching children to value others' opinions and strategy to engage in respectful, positive conversation is the key to equipping them with valuable skills. Conflict can be in many areas of life because there is always someone with differing opinions. Those who can engage in respectful communication and disagree respectfully can work through conflicts peacefully, will develop their understanding and relationships with others. Teach skills for perspective taking. Perspective taking is taking the time to put yourself in someone else's shoes and see their perspective is a valuable skill for positive interactions with others when disagreements occur. Many disagreements are rooted in misunderstanding. Teach children to ask questions and gather information and try to understand their side. Model respect. Sometimes as adults, we adopt do as I say, not as I do with our children. However, we know that children learn from watching us and model our behavior. They need to see us disagree respectfully to learn the importance of that skill and how to implement it. Show them respect when you disagree with their opinion. They learn from watching us more than we realize. Skills for handling strong emotions. Sometimes when we disagree, we react with strong emotion. If we can't self-regulate, we often resort to yelling, name-calling, or inappropriate language. These behaviors end productive conversation. Modeling self-regulation by using calming techniques is deep breathing is important. Provide children with language, strategies, and skills to identify and express emotions to enable them to react calmly and respectfully. This may involve them taking a few minutes to calm themselves before they engage in conversation. Demonstrate the difference between disagreeing and harmful or critical interactions with others. When one yells or uses hurtful language, that is not disagreeing respectfully. In order to respectful disagreeing to occur, each person needs to feel that they are being heard and respected. Consider these options. Allow children to see parental disagreements and their resolution, but only when appropriate. Model peaceful communication during real-life struggles. For example, I'm taking a deep breath right now because I was about to say something that was not helpful or kind. Another option, ask your child, do you want to be right or do you want to be friends? Another question, what's most important to you in this situation? Children may just need the words with which to disagree politely. You can suggest sharing sentences with, here's what I think, or I disagree but I'd like to hear more. In this way, deeper levels of understanding and engagement can occur. Finally, remind children that both people in an argument can be correct. They just have differing points of view. Number 4, embrace diversity. As global movement increases more and more, so does diversity in school. Embracing differences can sometimes be challenging. However, teaching children to treat everyone with respect and dignity will benefit them well in life. Begin by discussing the benefit of learning about and connecting with people who are different from us. Together, brainstorm a list of ways you and your child can connect with and appreciate other cultures. Consider creating opportunities for your children to play and interact with peers from different cultures and backgrounds, visiting local cultural centers or trying food from other cultures, reading books that celebrate diversity. Do encourage a strengths-based perspective when discussing those who are different from your child. This perspective focuses on the positive characteristics of a person and their abilities, what that person is able to do or does as compared to what they cannot, and how differences make our world a better place, according to Christy Corbin, PhD. Number 5, teach empathy. Empathy is a key component in positive relationships. It develops sensitivity and connection to others. While empathy generally develops naturally, it can also be nurtured through a variety of activities. According to Bruce Perry, PhD, and author of Born for Love, empathy is probably the greatest single gift of our species. We wouldn't have been able to survive without creating relationships and groups that could function together. Simple strategies that you might include when addressing your children and empathy: identify their emotions. For instance, saying, your face looks red and your hands are clenched. It looks like you might feel mad. And then point out your own emotions. Routinely discuss conflicts and encourage each person to take the other's perspective. Practice gratitude by writing notes or verbalizing your thankfulness for someone. Encourage children to visualize how their behavior might affect others. For instance, I see you told Emily that she can't play ball with you. How do you think that made her feel? Encourage children to work in teams when appropriate. Trey and Deshawn, could you please put the cars away? Then you could help me get your snack ready. Helping children to see others' point of view, which encourages empathy. For example, Trayvon is feeling sad today. His mom had to go. In spite of our efforts, children still have difficulty seeing another's perspective. When this occurs, help them by reviewing the uncaring behavior and how it affected the other person. Once the emotions have settled, discuss how the hurt can be mended and take steps to move forward. Here is a resource that provides book titles that support healthy relationship building. Topics include kindness, empathy, effective communication, making friends, and being a good friend. Pause the video here so that you can see some of the great books related to this family activity. For more information on today's topic, the sources are listed for your convenience. Thank you for joining us for Ways to Help Children Build Positive Relationships.